Appreciate all of you joining us and welcome to the Fumble Sports Week 16 preview show. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm just excited about another week of fantasy football action, gambling action, and the like. But some matchups I'm really excited about include some playoff implications. One of the things I want to make sure we're aware of going into tonight's show is what the playoff standings look like. Number one seed in the AFC is the Buffalo Bills. But on the NFC side, the Eagles, are they going to have Jalen Hurts against the Cowboys in their big matchup? Really excited about what we're seeing. If the season ended right now in the AFC, it would be the Bills in the 1 seed, Kansas City playing the Dolphins in the Tyreek Hill Bowl, the Bengals playing the Chargers in a 3-6 matchup that would pit Joe Burrow against Justin Herbert in a matchup of great young quarterbacks, and the Tennessee Titans versus the Ravens, which could see Derrick Henry going up against that great Ravens run defense. On the other side, in the NFC, Eagles, like I said, have that number 1 seed. As for the 2 seed, it is the Minnesota Vikings. They would play the Washington Commanders right now in a matchup that would pit Kirk Cousins against his former franchise. In the 3-6 matchup, it would be the 49ers against the Giants in an interesting quarterback matchup of Brock Purdy and Daniel Jones. Who would have seen that as a playoff matchup at the beginning of the season? And of course, in that last matchup, the 4-5 matchup, the one that Fox is praying happens, it would be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going up against the Dallas Cowboys. That would have everyone and their mother turning out to watch. I'm sure the NFL is hoping that one turns out. Thank you so much all for joining us. Hope you're settling in. Should be a great show tonight as we go on YouTube from our Metaverse studio and of course on Twitter Spaces. We're going to talk a lot about the NFL Week 16. But of course, let's start by welcoming in those who will give us some analysis. Adam, who does such a great job for us, at Spotter AJ. Adam, how you doing this evening?
Yeah, really good. A lot happening. Like you mentioned, full slate of games this weekend. National Signing Day for college football tomorrow. So hopefully my Badgers can do some damage so we can catch Bleece's Wolverines here in the next year or two. And then Sunday, Packers Dolphins against Lopes Dolphins, and then it leads right into the Bucks Celtics. So a lot going on this weekend. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that Bucks Celtics game. Celtics have been struggling of late. Bucks look like the one team in the East that could actually take them on. But we'll leave that to another time to talk NBA. Another great part of our team is Darius Terafinen. You can check him out at Dennis Terava. He does a great job for us with our daily fantasy plays. Dennis, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, guys. Glad to be here. Hopefully the majority of the listeners have advanced in their fantasy leagues and they're still alive in the playoffs. Looking forward to catching up and talking a little bit about last weekend's games, what we saw and how they influence our picks for this week. Definitely hope that the Jets can turn things around. And I know they'll be one of the first matchups we talk about. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, we'll be getting to the Jets in just a second. But before we do, want to make sure I shout out Lope, who does such a great job for us, at Lope Dog. That's Dog, DAWG. Lope, how you doing this evening?
Doing really good. Excited for these matchups. And as we always say, one thing to factor in this week is going to be the weather. There's going to be a cold front. There's going to be some games that feels like negative degree temperature.
I love Lope bringing the weather report. I was going to go in the same direction. If you want to get great weather reports for NFL games, one site I would highly recommend is NFLweather.com. They don't just have weather at kickoff, but throughout the entirety of the game, each quarter, and that way you know what to expect. One of the ways in which I got ahead of some of the action last week was that Miami Dolphins-Buffalo Bills game. People were talking about snow the entirety of the week, but on NFLweather.com, they did a great job of saying by game time, there really wouldn't be a lot of snow. It would just come late in the second half. They got that one dead on. So if you are worried about weather impacting your bets or fantasy plays this week, I would definitely recommend it. Make sure you also follow us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. And I encourage everyone who's joining us on Twitter and on YouTube to tweet out the space. Let others know about it. It's that time of giving throughout the NFL season and around the world. So make sure you give the gift of good fantasy information and good NFL information to your friends and family. Let's start this conversation around NFL Week 16.